you doing two?
Well, I'll get some have Nate get some photos. Nate, are you decent at taking photos?
I'm okay. I'll take some photos.
Take some photos of me presenting.
Yeah.
Give it to Megan so we get different angles. All right. So vanity.
Yes.
Nate, it's important.
Vanity?
For everyone to get all of this. So number one, welcome. Thanks for coming out, everybody. We will have the next one. I just wanted to let you know, August 9th, I talked with Susan Wynn. She's going to be coming to, she lives here in Houston. She's going to be coming here and talking to us. So you can go online on Amazon. I'll shoot the email out later with the link that you can get her book. It's only like $8.50. So again, if that breaks the bank, then just come in and talk to me at my office, and you can get yourself a SHRM scholarship. Okay,
$8.
And then she can sign your book like she did mine.
Oh, thank you.
So very excited. She'll be coming on August 9th. Okay. So the reason why I have August 2nd here is a shameless plug that I am going to be moderating. Houston Community College, they partner up with Houston West Chamber of Commerce to do a presentation on cybersecurity. So I'll be moderating that. If you want to come, there's lunch included as well, but I know that there's some kind of fee involved,
With
like
attending.
$20 or something for attending, yeah. And the nice thing is that I won't be presenting, I'll just be moderating. So I'm not an expert in cybersecurity. All I know is that I have an uncle in Nigeria that's waiting for me to send him some money so we can get like $12.5 million out of it.
Right.
The same thing is I do know as well that Samsung has given me some kind of reward of $750,000 if I send them some money as well. One, this amazing Samsung offer because of my wonderful goodness. Now he doesn't use Samsung as his email address. He uses his Gmail account of 11256 Sam, but he says he's affiliated with Samsung. So anyway, that's cybersecurity, and then of course Susan's coming. I'm super excited for this. We have already, that's RSVP for the August 9th one. There should be about a dozen people. So this one will be a little bit unique to kind of go around and share. So for those that aren't familiar, since this is our sixth session of the Success Principles by Jack Canfield, the focus of this one is to have heart-to-heart conversations. So we'll see how open we're going to be as a group.
What? I was not prepared for this.
The focus of where we've taken the journey in Success Principles by Jack Canfield was, first one was looking at your belief system, kind of where your thoughts are, what do you believe, what's limiting you, what's holding you back. And so one of the biggest struggles that we identified for ourselves is that our own mind is what's holding us back. Our own engagement with others, the past that we've gone through, the tragedy, the trauma, the letdowns, the mistakes, the errors, the missteps. We have a tendency then to view that that's how it's going to be going forward. So if, for example, I get divorced, and in that divorce, she's like, "You're a piece of garbage. This is how all the bad ways that you treated me. You'll never, make anyone happy, right?" Then I might take that a little bit in my other relationships going forward, and then I might be afraid to get into a serious relationship, and so I'll just go throughout life having very superficial relationships just because of that one experience. It's just kind of how we're wired a little bit. Then we got into vision boarding, and Megan came and shared with me her vision board, some of the enlightenment that she was having, and some of the kind of things that were just coming together for her. And that's just the idea that majority of people don't write down goals. There's always these statistics that go out there, and so I'm not going to make up any on the spot. I just know that people that write down goals do more than those that don't write down goals. So those that are like, "Oh yeah, it's all in my head," life is going to go by you. And when you write something down, you have a tendency to then remember it more. And the other thing is that if you write it down and review it, you're even more likely then to get it accomplished. And so that was the other piece that we did, was we created these vision boards of things that you want. And the amazing thing about it is, as we were looking at the different vision boards, none of them were identical. So Megan had a certain car. I know Peter Ayani had different things on his, and Cassie, you missed that one, right? The vision boarding. Mm-hmm. But I remember somebody else had a different vehicle that they wanted. I can't remember who it was, but I want to say.
Oh, I think it was the girl from Salada.
Yeah. I think she wanted like an SUV.
Like a Jeep or something.
Yeah. And so the thing about, what's interesting, I think a lot of times when we hear this kind of hokiness of like, oh, the power of positive thinking and, visualization, that doesn't work. That works for the weirdos out there, not for me. The reality is that we can get what we want, or at least get really, really close. Okay? And it might not be exactly that, but it might be really close. And then the last few sessions has been a little bit more on action, taking action, overcoming weaknesses, having a look at some of the incompletes, the messes in our lives, and completing things. So I'm just going to have a couple of you go around, if you don't mind sharing, maybe it's because it's been over a month since we had our last session, and just to give you an idea of what last session was on, it was to take action and to ask. So one of the homeworks was to ask for a favor from someone.
I did not.
By, beyond like, hey Megan, can you give me a car lift? It was meant to be something along the lines of, hey, can you help me out? Would you like?
Sorry to interrupt.
You need to do what you need to do.
Enjoy.
So before actually jumping in, since everybody doesn't know everybody, why don't we go around and introduce ourselves? Since Nate's not eating, why don't you introduce yourself first to the group and kind of tell everybody what you're all about.
Okay, my name's Nate, just recently graduated. Been looking for a job here in Houston, moved here from Salt Lake not too long ago. It's kind of difficult starting to network, but it's been good. And that's just where I'm at right now, just trying to find a job.
This guy.
Okay, my name is Peter. I've been here for 3 months at Mutual of Omaha.
So he's a veteran, everybody.
So I made a veteran. And I kind of feel like one too. Mm-hmm. It's a great company, great organization, great leadership, as a matter of fact. So
I pay Peter in leads to say those things.
Feel blessed to be here, really, seriously, after a great career at AAA for 18 years. It kind of came to a little bit of a bruising end. To come into this opportunity has been wonderful. So I think I was at the last meeting, and I did check the boxes on most of the items that I did to. Still got some incompletes, but so far so good.
Yeah, and that's you want to talk a little bit about some of the incompletes, maybe not specifically yours, but like what was some of the things that you'd kind of put down there from a kind of big picture perspective?
Well, really just getting my workstation going, because it was pretty much blank. It looked like I was ready to not be here.
Yep.
But they're able to plan a few things and give me some source of what I felt like stability and moving forward and creating files and putting just those basic items out to be able to accomplish just basic daily goals. So to me, that was a big step forward. So.
And that's something that was really important to bring up, is that some of those incompletes, those messes, they were going to take time.
Exactly.
So it was the idea of, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Right. And it's to take some of those projects that we have, like making his cubicle feel more like, hey, I'm here and I'm ready. It's going to take time. He doesn't necessarily need to bring in an entire box like I did this week. And my office looks like a mess. Like I've literally thrown up all of these files in my office.
I don't have to bring my track trophy from junior high and things like that. But something that says, hey, you're here to make a career and kind of plant your seeds.
Yeah, that's great. All right, Cassie, why don't you introduce yourself to the crew for those that don't know you? She's like, who doesn't know me?
Cassie Cooper. You don't know me. Cassie Cooper. 11 years here. I am the agency administrator, so great support system for the guys and all of that, work business and stuff like that. And sorry, I'm trying to get this done. One thing that